Welcome to the first Kentucky Derby Regional Report of 2016 here on TVG. Alongside Matt Carruthers, my name is Mike Joyce. Are you ready for this? It's time, my friend.
We're inside 2.5 months
from
the Kentucky Derby, right? We have giant preps now every weekend for the next couple of months. So, yeah, no better time than the present to jump in.
We've got some excellent racing coming up this weekend. The first 50-point prep race is taking place in the Louisiana region. Should I hit it yet? Do I hit it yet? Louisiana region?
You know where Louisiana is, right?
It's this state, right?
Okay, right.
Boom. Oh. Fairgrounds. Going to Louisiana, and one of the more anticipated horses we're going to see this Saturday is trained by our friend and colleague Tom Amoss, who joins us right now on the line. And Tom,
hey Tom,
people want to know how Motom is doing.
Good to hear from you, Mike, Matt. How you guys doing? So Motom is doing well. I think one of the most important things from a handicapping point of view for Motom is to recognize that he is a mayfoal, and he's built like a mayfoal. He's been trying to catch up to the rest of the class in terms of physical appearance and strengthening and muscle tone. And really, in the last 3 weeks, from his LeCompte win to now, I'm just starting to see it. So that's exciting, and I hope it keeps going that way for him.
Well, we're going to take a look at some of his exploits here as we take a look. He really seemed to come around in the LeCompte. That was easily the best effort he had shown thus far in his career. And you're talking about how he's developing and how he's a mayfoal coming around. At what point did you realize he was ready for this race and you expected him to show that talent that he's got?
Well, trainers are always kind of keeping their cards close to the vest because horses don't always run the way they train. But he trained very well leading into that race. And he was very, very professional on the track in the mornings. I think that the race before the LeCompte, the Jockey Club, was a great learning experience for my horse. He didn't win it. He ran a close start. He made some mistakes down the lane, switched leads a few times, kind of shy from the lights. It was a late night or early evening race at Churchill, but the weather was terrible, so it was under the lights. And since that race, he's really gained a lot in his professionalism.
Tom, we showed the last quarter of a mile of his strong win in the LeCompte. The comment, though, in the racing form, hit gate, bumped early. For those viewers out there who didn't see the beginning of that race, how bad was the start for Motom in the LeCompte January 16th?
I think the start was okay. Where we ran into a problem was going in the first turn. A horse inside of us that did not break well, didn't make the turn well, and he hit us hard going to the turn as he, started to bear out. And so that caused some concern, but Tom recovered from that and went about his business. So I don't know about the start being that big an issue. I looked at it a few times, and I can't really put a lot of emphasis on that, Matt. But certainly the first turn was something that was a cause for concern.
Do you start thinking Derby now, or is the Derby, even though it's 2.5 months away, might as well be 5 years away for you as a trainer?
Look, you said at the beginning of the show, we're 2.5 months away. It might as well be, 2.5 years away.
Okay.
I mean, so much is going to happen between now and the first Saturday in May. And the horses we're talking about right now almost assuredly aren't going to be the horses we're talking about in May. So I think I read somewhere that if you bet the field in the second future Derby pool, you're going to have 75% of the starting gate come that first Saturday in May. So that gives you an indication of how much things change. And look, what we're looking to do with Motom is hopefully continue progressing, continue to do well, and be one of those horses that's still talked about in early May. But I'm not thinking like that right now. I'm thinking Risen Star and coming out of it in good health.
It seems like there's a lot of pace in the Risen Star. Obviously, your horse comes from off of it, was second to last at the half-mile pole in the LeCompte. You go through this field, Tom. Bistrea, who just went wire-to-wire at Santa Anita, going a mile, very, very quick. You have some sprinters stretching out in distance. You have It's All Relevant, who is a wire-to-wire winner at Gulfstream, going a mile. It looks like on paper the race sets up well for you.
Yeah, so as a handicapper, Matt, and I know you've already examined this, but I think the most important aspects of the draw for Motom are, number one, where he drew, and he drew down towards the rail, and that's good, because he's just going to break and sit back and make a late run, so he doesn't have to move over or anything like that. But just as significantly, the horse that drew all the way on the outside, Candy My Boy. He's won his last two in a row.
Mm-hmm.
He's done them on the front end by making the lead. For him to make the lead in this race in that outside post, going a mile and 16, he is going to have to beat everybody to that first turn. And I think that ensures a quick pace, and that's good for my horse.
Tom, the second choice at 3-1. Now, we want to think it's Tom Amoss because we could always use a little Tom here on our airwaves on TVG. But tell us about the name of this horse because it's actually the owner that was instrumental in naming it.
That's correct. So Gail Benson, who owns the horse, and actually was the one that called and said, "Hey, I'd like you to try to buy me a nice horse at the Keelan sale." Her husband, Tom Benson, everybody's well familiar with. He owns the New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans. And they do everything together. I think they've been to the track at least a dozen times this meet, but they don't leave each other's side. And when she named it, she said, "Who wouldn't want Tom?" So I guess she gets Tom with Tom.
Well, hey, Tom, best of luck with Tom.
Can I ask Tom, if you win the LeCompte on Saturday, will you do it? I went to school at Tulane. You went to LSU, and obviously Tom Benson has owned the Saints for a long period of time. He was known for doing the Benson Boogie, I believe. Back in the day with an umbrella, I think. He did kind of one of these types of dances with an umbrella. Would you be willing to do that if you were to score in the Risen Star?
I think we're going to leave the Benson Boogie to Mr. Benson. It's his. I hate to try to steal it from him. No Benson Boogie for Tom Amoss.
All right, well, how about the Amoss sachet into the winner's circle will be well enough for us. Best of luck, Tom.
It's great talking to you guys. Have a great day.
Good luck. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. And Tom in action in the Risen Star. And this is where it's basically winning you're in for the Kentucky Derby. 50 points on the line for the winner. That will shortly be enough to get into the starting gate the first Saturday in May.
The funny thing was you were doing a lot of dancing before the show, and then I'm the one who dances on the show, or sort of dances on the show.
I'm a dancer. Let me scooch out of the way here. We're going to go down to Florida, because we've got, not this week, but coming up soon, we have the Fountain of Youth. And clearly, at the top of many people's Derby hopeful list is Mohaymen, the horse that's superiorly talented and in the hands of one of the best trainers in the country, Kieran McLaughlin.
He's your heavy favorite right now. Yeah, I think Tom referenced the Derby future pools, where all of their 3-year-olds is favored right now, but barely, which is amazing this early on, barely favored over Mohaymen, because from an individual standpoint, he is such a short price compared to everybody else. He has all the tools, he really does. It's a cliche, but he has that incredible physical gifts, and it seems like mentally he's caught up with his physical attributes that he has. And Kieran McLaughlin, we've talked about this, his conditioner is a very understated type of guy. The adjectives that he has used to describe Mohaymen over the last few weeks, I think significant, coming from this trainer, one of the elite trainers, very humble trainer in Kieran McLaughlin. He's clearly the favorite right now, and he will be, it doesn't matter who he faces in the Fountain of Youth. I know Shagat's going to go in that race, or I'm sure Pletcher will have a couple of horses. He's going to be 2-5, 3-5.
He had frosted last year, and he said, even before his most recent effort in the Holy Bull, that Mohaymen's well ahead of where frosted was last year. Let's take a look at Mohaymen's exploits. And there's nothing to say other than he's truly a professional, a very fast horse, and he runs like 10 furlongs will not be a problem.
No, and the fact I love about this race is not only the way he finishes here, folks, pulling away from a pretty good field, was early on in the race, he was down on the inside. This was a great sort of, educational race for him. He didn't have the cleanest of trips. He was forced down the inside. He had to steady a couple of times in the early to middle part of that race, and he was able to overcome that and then show that kind of breathtaking, physical abilities that he had that last eighth of a mile to pull away. That was a perfect performance for him, I thought, in the Holy Bull.
And a statement of how good he is. You could take someone who's never watched horse racing in their life,
right,
and you could show him that race and say,
good.
That's a good horse. That's a fantastic horse. Anybody who's untrained with the equine animal and the athlete could look at that stride and say, that horse moves well. He's that kind of a star.
Yeah, I mean, is he a cinch right now? Nobody's a cinch going into the Derby, especially this early on, but he's clearly the favorite.
Fountain of Youth, February 27th. Of course, you'll see it live right here on TVG as we bring you each and every race live from Gulfstream Park. $400,000 on the line, but at this point, we're talking Derby points. It is a 50-point race like they all are in the next several weeks. And for you, the TVG horse player, this is your road to the Kentucky Derby as well.
Cool.
Starting tomorrow. We did this last year, and it's a great promotion. You bet the preps and earn points for your chance to win grand prize tickets to the Kentucky Derby and $7,500 cash. We'll send you the Derby, and we'll give you ammo. That's the deal. $25,000 in total cash and prizes. Go to tvg.com, 4njbets.com, or pabets.com for details. Here are the next several 50-point preps from February 20th to March 20th. Risen Star Fountain of Youth, the Gotham, the Tampa Bay Derby, the San Felipe, the Rebel, and the Sunland Derby are the 50-point races.
I know you're locked into the O'Neill camp.
Yes.
Because I heard right after his win in the San Vicente, they were saying, I think it was Mr. Redham was saying Florida Derby.
Yeah.
Is that still?
That's been the plan since before the San Vicente. They wanted
maybe Mohaymen versus Nyquist in Florida Derby, folks.
That race could
was
come
that April 2nd?
Yes, that could come up unbelievably cool. The other thing is, though, they had the plan out 7 weeks Derby. That was their plan the whole time, so before the San Vicente. But yeah, Florida Derby, they're taking the champion 2-year-old down to South Florida.
They probably like the fact they have they won the 2-year-old champion in Nyquist, who's also undefeated, who just keeps winning stake race after stake race after stake race, and they're a little bit under the radar because Mohaymen's getting all the attention. I'm guessing they like that a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, they love the attention over there. That'll do it for this edition of the Kentucky Derby Regional Report. We'll have another one Monday morning. Todd Schrupp, Christina Blacker, as we are bringing Monday and Tuesday production up to that next level. Well done, sir. Well, this is a good opening regional report.
A little closer to you.
That was your Kentucky Derby Regional Report.